Oh, hello, Eddie here. I'm taking this opportunity to discuss assessment 3 with you, and we are going to discuss this assessment that includes the instructions, the tasks, rubric, and a few tips in terms of key concepts that you want to include in your assessments. Right, so your assessment's length is 2,500 words plus minus 10%, and it is due on Friday, not Sunday. If you can look at the week 12, if you can look at the timetable I posted in week 1, that will be the reference for you in terms of the timetable. Okay, right. Now, let's look at briefly what we need to include for in our assessments. Okay, make sure you read the instructions in detail. Okay, and make sure you also include the make sure you also address the task. Okay, we are going to discuss the tasks next few minutes, and in terms of rubric, make sure you also cover the rubric, because the rubric is basically the guideline for everybody, including me, when I look at your assessments. Okay, so the first thing in here is the introduction, company background. Okay, so make sure that we have outlined it, and to include the product services, and if you also include the industry, that will be fantastic. A brief comment about the industry, using some industry report, for instance, that will be fantastic. Okay, and then situational analysis is the next one. Target market, pretty much like a marketing plan, marketing mix variables, and metrics and evaluation. And the last one is conclusion. And make sure we also include, pay attention to the presentation referencing. Okay, look, in terms of referencing, it is just a standard in academic, where when we write something, we need to include the references. Okay, all right, now let's look at the tasks. I have copied the tasks into my Word document. Okay, and I'd like to discuss that with you briefly. The introduction, please, and also company background, please include anything related to the company, the product, services, and also the industry. If you have researched the industry report, for instance, and you find some key stats in your report, put it there. This is the company I'm analyzing, and these are the products or services that they offer for the customers, and they compete in this industry. Okay, so that's basically the first two. Okay, the next one is the situational analysis. In the situational analysis, first thing that we need to look at is the macro environmental forces, and in here we can use the pastel forces. Okay, the pastel model. Now, in terms of pastel model, please make sure that you explain the impact to the business. In other words, you are analyzing what does it mean to the business. If you analyze the inflation rate, for instance, what does it mean to business? Okay, and make sure you also include data, facts to support your argument. I also if you look at the module 1, I also discuss some example to help you explaining pastel. Okay, and now the next one is competitor analysis. Okay, so please write two major competitors. Right, when you analyze them, make sure you explain what they offer. Briefly outline their marketing mix variables, 4Ps: product, price, place, and promotion. Okay. And the next one is the consumer analysis, which is basically about the level of involvement, high, low, okay, and and also the factors affecting consumer behavior. Now, here, I do not expect you to analyze all factors, okay? There are 3 groups of factors. If you analyze one factor from each group, okay, that will be fantastic, okay? Rather than you analyze everything but not comprehensive, I would rather you analyze just one factor for one group factors, such as situational, okay? And the other one from the other two groups. So in total, you analyze 3 factors, okay? That will be fantastic, okay? But please make sure you analyze them comprehensively. And SWOT analysis, which is quite popular, make sure that your strengths and weaknesses are all internal. So they reflect the asset, capability, or resource, and opportunities, threats are external. They are from your PESTEL. There you go. You need to link them to your PESTEL analysis, okay? And in the case of competitors, you need to link them to your threats, okay? For opportunities and threats, you look at the favorable. PESTEL forces, and competitors are always in threats. Okay. All right. Now, then we come to our strategy. Okay. Target market. We need to look at 4 segmentation variables that include geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral. Okay, no discount. So you need to include all 4 factors, all 4 variables. And if you also include Roy Morgan value segment, that's perfect. This one is optional. This one is optional. Okay, and if you do that, please make sure that you show the connection between Roy Morgan value segments. Okay, you only need to select one Roy Morgan value segment, by the way. And you show the link between your Roy Morgan value segments and the 4 segmentation variables, okay? And the next one is targeting strategy, okay? Pretty much yours probably somewhere between differentiated or concentrated targeting strategy, okay? And then you write the positioning map, you write the positioning strategy, okay? Now here, there are 2 things that you want to include. The first one is positioning map. Okay, so you draw the diagram. Ideally, you use the attributes related to the customer's need, okay? But you can also use price and quality as the variables to map your competitors, okay? And also your brand. So here, you need to include the competitors' brands and also your brands, okay? And a positioning statement. Now, this is the formula to write a positioning statement to what target market with what need. Our brand is what concept. This is our promise, okay? With what point of differentiation, okay? Now, the next one that we need to write is the brand, okay? The brand strategy. So you can look at whether your company adopts individual brand strategy, or family branding strategy, or combination, okay? Or combination, okay? The other option that you can use, that you can look at, is the brand development strategy, okay? To analyze this. Now, brand development strategy includes number of things, include 4 things actually. The first one is line extension strategy. Okay, line extension strategy. The second one is brand extension strategy. Okay. The next one is multi-brand strategy. And the last one is new brand strategy. Okay. And the last section, which is quite huge, is marketing mix variables. Okay. Now, marketing mix variables includes 8 variables in our assessment. Okay, the first one is product strategy. That is basically about product decision. There are 3 things that we need to address in this section. Okay, the first one is the 3 levels of product. Here we use the core customer value, actual product, and augmented product. And then we explain the classification of product or service. Remember, I suggested to you to focus on consumer market, not business market. Okay, because business market is more challenging for us, but it's up to you. If you feel it is okay for you to go for it, but it may be more challenging. Consumer product classification is the one that we need to look at. Convenience, we have convenience, shopping, specialty, and on-site. You make decision. You analyze why your product category falls under convenience, shopping, specialty, or on-site based on the characteristics that we discussed. Okay. And the next one is the identification of product mix or product mix decision that includes width, line, and depth. Product line basically reflects a group of products that function similarly, and and product width actually reflects the number of product line that the company has, whilst the depth reflects the varieties that each product line has. Okay. All right, so that's product decision. The next one is pricing strategy. We have, in terms of pricing strategy, we have two options aside from price adjustment strategy. Okay. The first one is general pricing strategy. If you're not analyzing a new product, you can look at these three options in terms of pricing strategy, like value-based pricing strategy, cost-based pricing strategy, and competitor-based pricing strategy, or new product pricing strategy. Okay, so you look at these guys, the general pricing strategy, or new product pricing strategy that includes price skimming and price penetration. And then after that, you look at the price adjustment strategy for this company. Okay. The other thing that I also want you to look at is the product mix pricing strategy. Very likely, our product contains several items. So how do they price the products for different items, for instance? Okay, right. So there are three. In brief, you have three concepts under pricing strategies. The first one is general pricing strategy or new product pricing strategy, and then price adjustment strategy and product mix pricing strategy. Okay, and the next one is placement. There are two decisions here that we need to make. The first one is the channel strategy that includes direct, indirect, and hybrid. Your e-texts separate the hybrid and multi-channel. Some other scholars put them into the same group. Basically, they use both direct and indirect channel strategy. Okay, and the next one is distribution coverage strategy that includes exclusive, intensive, and selective distribution coverage strategy. Okay, and the next decision that we need to make is the promotion strategy. Here, these are the 5 tools that you need to analyze. How do they advertise? What is the personal selling team doing? Right? What do you expect the personal selling team to convey to the customers? What message do you expect them to convey to the customers? Okay, sales promotion strategy, public relations, and direct digital marketing strategy. Okay, and the next one is the next one is basically about the marketing metrics. Okay, here we have 2 types of metrics: financial and non-financial metrics or marketing metrics. The financial metrics include sales and profits. The non-financial marketing metrics include several metrics such as the market share, brand equity, customer relationships, and digital metrics such as number of likes on your social media campaign, for instance, sharing, number of sharing, okay, comments, number of people posting their comments, and some companies also have specified whether it is positive comment or unfavorable comments. Okay, visits, bounce rate, for instance, and the other digital metrics. Okay, and we need to look at we need to write the conclusions related to the key findings. Okay. And last one is please make sure that you also include the references. Okay, so it has to be correct. It must be referenced correctly. Okay, and this should include the in-text references. Okay, so when it comes to referencing, it's not only about putting them into the reference list, but we also need to show where we use them in the in our text. Okay, so that's basically assessment 3. Okay, good luck.